The Steet Pawnee Auto Group in Herkimer and Yorkville and Turnbull Insurance Service since 1866 present Mohawk Valley Living, exploring the arts, culture, and heritage of our region. A special good morning to Steve Foster, watching online in California and checking in on his hometown every Sunday.
Good morning and welcome to Mohawk Valley Living. What about this weather? An improvement over last week for sure. Today we are touring the town of Schuyler, including the beautiful Windecker farm that is set right here in the middle of hills. It's absolutely gorgeous. I probably said it before, I'll say it again. It's like being in the rolling hills of Ireland.
There's a place on down the road, just over the hill past the maple grove. Down by the road just a little ways, that's where we all used to play. Moss-covered rocks, water that's freezing, warm summer breeze, sure is pleasing.
Before we head out on our road trip to Schuyler, we take a detour to Rome to visit the new old radio station WKAL 1450 AM. The station first signed on back in 1946, broadcasting from the Capitol Theater. 2 months ago, it resumed regular broadcasting, bringing local radio back to the city of Rome.
Well, WKAL started back in 1948 by the owner of the Pellet Theater, and it has been on the air for many, many years and then was off the air for a while. And our function right now is to bring it back and make it very relevant and very important to people in the greater Rome area. And by that we mean Rome itself, obviously the city, and all the communities and the towns and the villages that surround Rome. There are a good dozen of them that are right within the immediate confines of the Mohawk Valley and very close to Rome itself. What we're trying to do is do news and sports and information that pertains to Rome and basically the western portion of Oneida County. That doesn't mean we ignore the city of Utica or New Hartford or any of the communities there. We certainly pay attention to their news as well, but our main focus is the greater Rome area and western Oneida County. What we're trying to be is that hyper-local station to people so that they can know that there is a station that serves their immediate neighborhoods, their immediate towns or villages or what have you, and that can be very responsive to their needs, can go out and do stories, can do interviews and information that is really pertinent to their lives.
Bob of the Morning Talk Radio, AM 1450, WKAL. Good to have you along with us for the May 7th edition for the ride here as we hit the midpoint of our work week.
Be sure to pick up the May issue of Mohawk Valley Living magazine, featuring spring walking trails, an interview with musician Randy Case, a visit with Steve's Restorations and Hot Rods, and local naturalist Matt Perry introduces us to some tropical birds in the valley. In this month's issue of Mohawk Valley Living magazine, at your closest Stewart shop and our advertisers. Find a complete list of pickup locations on our website.
I'm making this valley my home.
The Steet Pawnee Auto Group is proud to bring Mohawk Valley Living to you each week, serving the Utica area and the Valley with outstanding customer service. In Yorkville at Steet Pawnee Ford Lincoln Mazda, Steet Pawnee Volkswagen, and Steet Toyota Scion. And in Herkimer at Steet Pawnee Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's so easy to do business with Steet Pawnee. You go the extra mile for your small business and should expect the same from your insurance company. For over 140 years, Turnbull Insurance Service has been committed to local small business. For your commercial coverage, turn to the company ready to go that extra mile. Turn to Turnbull. Add the magic of dancing water to your garden with beautiful fountains, bird baths, and water features from the Mum Farm Garden Center. Come tour the century-old barn filled with heirloom-quality garden accents of teak and cast stone. Shop the family-owned Mum Farm Garden Center on Red Hill Road in New Hartford. Do you see the glass as half full? Then read the positive news from Central New York every day at uticarocks.com.
Your news, talk, and sports authority. Talk Radio, AM 1450, WKAL, Rome, Utica.
Melrose Supermarket is your family hometown market. known for their choice hand-cut meats, homemade breads, and fresh pastas and salads. Check out the weekly specials at Melrose Supermarket, East Main Street in Frankfort. Shop NJ Fleehand for professional quality espresso machines, KitchenAid appliances and attachments, barware, glassware, and bakeware. Whether you are outfitting a restaurant or your own gourmet kitchen, NJ Fleehand has the equipment and experience. Open Monday through Saturday at 703 Bleecker Street in Utica. The Fenimore Art Museum is open for the season with 6 new exhibits, including The Adirondack World of Arthur Fitzwilliam Tate. His iconic paintings helped create and perpetuate the vision of the Adirondack wilderness as a sportsman's paradise. See many examples of his original works that were subsequently mass-produced. This special exhibit has been organized by the Adirondack Museum and is on display at the Fenimore Art Museum in Cooperstown. Watch Mohawk Valley Living every Sunday and pick up our free monthly magazine. Inside are stories by local writers, area guides, things to do, and more. Find out today why people are calling it their favorite magazine. Mohawk Valley Living. See what's in it for you. The town of Schuyler is located about 5 miles east of Utica in Herkimer County. We stop into the busy Schuyler Town Hall in West Schuyler and find members of the Historical Society hard at work organizing and preserving Schuyler's past. Assistant Town Historian Beverly Gillette gives us a tour of the historical room, featuring antique farm implements, furniture, articles of clothing, and a handcrafted replica of Fort Schuyler, created by the late, well-known historian Tony DePeace. The historical room is open during town hall hours, Monday through Friday 9 to 3, located at 2090 Route 5 in Schuyler.
You know it stands so tall, reaching high in the new blue sky.
We head from the town hall 1 mile east on Route 5 to Giuliano's Schuyler Greenhouses. What started as one greenhouse has expanded to many. Farmers Joe and Debbie Giuliano are not ones to stand still and are always looking for new ways to improve and expand their business, including a new venture into hydroponic basil.
We started in 1976. My father was in the trucking business, and the outfit that he used to work for was no longer in business. So I grew up on the farm next door with my grandparents, and they were always truck farmers. And we put up one little greenhouse, and we started, and here we are today.
Look at
Here we are today. We grow 120 acres of produce, and we have 13 greenhouses, and it keeps us busy. We're in the basil house right now. In the off season, we really don't have a lot going on, and I plow snow for the town. And I'm looking for something to do with these greenhouses for the off season. Right now we're full of flowers, and we don't have the space that I want, but we tried the basil. I've been wanting to do this for quite a few years, and I finally started it. We got it off the ground a little bit, and with the help of friends of ours, Sam Massey, that runs Massey Produce, he helped me get it off the ground, and it's been working real well. We're moving more product now than we could really keep up with, due to the fact that we have all the flowers and we don't have the space. But as soon as we get this flower season, we're going to acclimate one bigger house for this and hope to run it year round. Kind of a hydroponically style, where we made our own, we got our own tray set up. We made our own troughs so that everything is watered from underneath, and so the plant never gets wet. We add our own nutrient system for the basil. We are still tweaking it a little bit to get all the bugs out, but it started out real fine. And we also cut from this to keep these plants trimmed. We cut from this and we bag it, and we sell it by the pound or by the ounce, and it works well both ways. You got to have a love for it, and I do. I enjoy it. The work doesn't bother me. The hours doesn't bother me. I have a real good wife that stands behind me, and it works. It works. We enjoy it.
Even with a tough spring like this?
Even with a tough spring, you just have to put everything in perspective, and as long as you're healthy, it'll come. It's, you know, if it's a week later, it's a week later, but we usually get it done.
Giuliano's Schuyler greenhouses are located at 2365 Route 5 in West Schuyler. Their hydroponic basil is available at Melrose Supermarkets in Frankfort, North Star Orchards in Westmoreland, and Shenantree Supermarkets in New Hartford. Look for their vegetable stands coming mid-June in Whitesboro and North Utica.
Shining through the white birch trees, we're just doing as we
The overwhelming aroma of fresh basil whets our appetite for lunch, so we head up the road to Dave's Diner. This community hub has been a popular gathering place for 25 years. Dave Parator makes running a busy diner look easy, but this hard-working, hands-on owner is modest about his success.
Oh, how did it all begin? We were sitting around a kitchen table and with my brother and my wife and his wife, and this land had come for sale. We had owned the motel next door, the Glen Motel, and my brother's an accountant. He says, he says, I need an office. He says, what do you want to do? I said, I don't know. He says, how about opening a diner? I said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Because at the motel, we did have a diner when we had originally bought it, and we lost to a fire within the first 2 years and never rebuilt it. My father always wanted to. So that's the initial start. So I said, okay, I'll do it. Well, of course, people who know anything to do with classic cars or motorcycles, our big thing is classic car night. Tuesday night, always been Tuesday. We get 300 cars. There's 10 acres out back. We pack them in from everything from brand new Corvettes to Model Ts. It's very laid back. You can eat outside. I cook outside. I got a big grill. I cook steak sandwiches, hot dogs, hamburgers. I now even have French fries outside. You can come inside and eat and get the air conditioning. A lot of people just choose to mill about. They'll get their ice cream cone and they'll walk around and just talk, and it's pretty much what it is. No pressure.
When does that start?
Well, I hate to say one because everyone tries to hold me to it, but we usually pull one off in May, and it's probably looking like the way the weather is the last week in May to the third week in May. But once we start, we're here, unless it rains, and then we don't do the outside. But yeah, by the end of May, we're ready to go, and then we go right to October.
Dave's Diner is open 7 days a week for breakfast and lunch. Open Friday nights for fish fries and Saturday nights for prime rib. It is located on Route 5 in downtown Schuyler. After lunch, we stop in to meet Dave's new neighbor. Pathway of Pearls is a life coaching and certified crystal healing center and was opened earlier this year by Millie Ritter. After over 17 years as a registered nurse, Millie's love of caring for patients encouraged her to open a healing center. Pathway of Pearls Healing Center and Gift Shop is located behind Dave's Diner and is open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 5.
Now that you're gone, I'm feeling I'm gonna be alright. Can't help but thinking it's such a good night. Now that you're gone, now that you're gone.
When planning your family's future, turn to the principles of the past. Turn to Turnbull. Turnbull Insurance Service is an independent agency representing the most dependable companies for all your insurance needs, as well as complete financial planning and wealth management. Call today for a free assessment. Whether you're looking to sell or buy your first home, retirement property, farm, or lake house, call River Hills Properties. Agents look forward to meeting with you to present a personalized plan. River Hills Properties, bringing you home. Call 896-1009. Your garden is only as good as its plants. The premier growers and Cornell School of Agriculture graduates at the Mum Farm grow 99% of what they sell. So for your perennials, container gardens, vegetable transplants and herbs, trees and shrubs, shop the exceptional plants at the family-owned Mum Farm Garden Center on Red Hill Road in New Hartford. The Fenimore Art Museum is open for the season with 6 new exhibits, including A Moment Past. L.F. Tantillo paints New York history. Tantillo's work brings the past to life through his remarkable historically accurate paintings. His paintings celebrate maritime themes, focusing on little-known subject matter depicting the early history of New York State. His work is widely collected and appears in exhibits all over the world, including Cooperstown at the Fenimore Art Museum, open Tuesday through Sunday, 10 to 4. Now you can take out hot specials for lunch and dinner at Maria's Pasta Shop, and on Sundays, fried dough, fried meatballs, and fresh-baked rolls. Maria's Pasta Shop, Oneida Street, Utica. Visit Brenda's Natural Foods in their brand new, bigger location, right down the street at 236 West Dominic Street in Rome. Brenda's Natural Foods, something good and a lot of it. Spring color is peeking through at the Village Crossing. It's a great time for sales on winter clearance items, making way for new spring fashions arriving daily at the Village Crossing in Clinton. Expecting company? Just call Deansboro Superette. They prepare delicious Middle Eastern platters for any number of guests. Call 841-4377. North Star Orchards is open for the season. The greenhouse is full of potted plants, annuals, and vegetables, and outside you'll find perennials, trees, shrubs, and topsoil. The bakery's open too, with fresh pies, cookies, breads, and muffins at North Star Orchards, Route 233, Westmoreland.
I'm gonna watch the sunset in the desert. Be the prettiest sight to live.
Special thanks to Turnbull Insurance Service and Mark and Jim Turnbull. Their continued support makes the show possible. We continue our road trip in Schuyler and tour the town's landmarks. The old cemetery on Route 5 in East Schuyler, across from Watkins Road, dates back to Revolutionary times and the founding families. It is going to be improved this summer as a project of the Town of Schuyler Historical Society. If you would like to help out, contact the Society's president, Dean DeRocher, at 895-7089. Just up the road from the cemetery is the old cobblestone schoolhouse, built in 1849. It is owned by the Schuyler Fire Department and was dedicated to a fireman who died in the line of duty.
Traveling round the Mohawk Valley.
We head from East Schuyler back to West Schuyler and Lock 19, where Sterling Creek joins the Barge Canal. This is a nice picnic spot to watch the boats and the trains go by.
Freight train runs through this town at 5:30. Railroad bums, hobos, freeloaders, tattered and dirty.
Across the street, we find another monument, a grave site near where once stood the home of a legendary commander in the Battle of Oriskany.
This is the burial site and former home of Henry Starring, who was the very first judge of common pleas here in Herkimer County. That's pretty impressive. He was the first captain of the 4th Regiment, Tryon County.
When I hear the wheels clickety-clack, behind these walls is all the life I know, and the sadness in my heart will always grow.
We head back into the heart of Schuyler to the Four Corners and Schuyler Archery. Leonard Cavaretta has 45 years experience in archery and says he can teach anyone. Richard takes him up on the offer in the upstairs archery range. The business celebrates its 10th anniversary this year, but has its origin in the 1960s, the dream of a young archer.
Well, I was very, very young and I always wanted to do archery. So we didn't have a lot of money. No one could, afford to buy a bow for me. So I made my own in my backyard. I took like sumac and I bent it over and I found a string, I tied it, and I used a nail for my rest to shoot the bow. And at that time, 25 cents for a target arrow. And I, behind my yard, where we used to live in Rome, there was a lumber yard. I used to pack my lunch, go over there and sit on those piles, and hopefully a rabbit would come through and try to get it with the bow and arrow. It took me a month, and I finally got my first rabbit. And I was really inspired. I got further into archery after.
It looks out on the rolling hills, stretch out far and wide. The walls are strong and sturdy, through the years it's held up well. Oh, if that old house could talk, the stories it would tell.
We head out into the rolling hills of Schuyler to the 4th and 5th generation Windecker farm. For over 100 years, the Windeckers have been farming this land. Today, they tend 550 acres, including the recent addition of a beautiful, fertile field for growing hay for their dairy and beef herds.
Well, our farm has grown modestly. One of the biggest issues is your land resources. You have to look at what your resources are and what you can do with it. We are mostly a grass-based farm up in heavy clay soils, so we make most of our decisions for our feed by harvesting the haylage and just being as efficient and low cost as possible. My family, Dale's family, the farm supported the family. It's getting harder. I now work full-time off the farm to help supplement the farm. But we're a family farm. Our kids work right alongside of us, and that's a work ethic and that we're quite proud of because they excel at school, and I truly believe it's because there's a lot of structure and schedule, and we appreciate free time. And we just got back from a trip. It took a lot of effort to do, but you know, you got to work hard, play hard is what we live by. Over the last few years, the price of feed has doubled, and it's really put a tremendous squeeze on our ability to pay our bills. At the same time, the price of milk has been extremely low. And we reached some points over the last few years where we couldn't afford the feed, or we had trouble finding it. And we began trying to rent land, and it was very difficult to rent land, and we were very fortunate to have an opportunity to buy a tract of land with some of the best soils in Herkimer County, and those opportunities are once in a lifetime, and so we were very fortunate to be able to do that. And it really has reinvigorated us and given us a lot more excitement, and my children very much want to continue in agriculture, especially my son, so this is a great opportunity to give us more options. And at the same time, my father-in-law, who's 83, is an integral part of the operation by being able to get on the tractor every day, and so he's able to be part of this great opportunity with us. When my husband took my father-in-law to see the land that we had just bought, he smiled and said it was the type of land he wished he always could have, but never had the opportunity to have it. So he's really excited for us.
You can order fresh, natural Windecker's grassy knoll beef direct from the farm at 866-4221 and online at windeckerfarm.com. Also at Triple's Countryside Produce on Route 5 in Schuyler and on the menu at the Tailor and the Cook. Look for the Windeckers in the upcoming June issue of Mohawk Valley Living magazine.
What we can see, traveling round the Mohawk Valley. Let's see.
The Steet Ponte Auto Group is proud to bring Mohawk Valley Living to you each week, serving the Utica area and the Valley with outstanding customer service. In Yorkville at Steet Ponte Ford Lincoln Mazda, Steet Ponte Volkswagen, and Steet Toyota Scion. And in Herkimer at Steet Ponte Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's so easy to do business with Steet Ponte. See the difference small family-run greenhouses can make. From hanging baskets to vegetables, Zarek Greenhouses offers herbicide and pesticide-free plants, and they only sell what they grow. Zarek Greenhouses, East South Street in Clinton, and online at zarekgreenhouses.com.
Hi, welcome to the Little Falls Antique Center in the shops at 25 West. We have 2 full floors with 50 vendors of interesting and unique products ranging from specialized to very eclectic, primitive to the not so primitive. Remember, shop local, we're worth the trip.
View presents the 63rd Annual Central Adirondack Art Show. This annual favorite features over 200 artists from the region through June 22nd at View, Route 28 in Old Forge. Call Yannick Excavating for all your residential and commercial projects, from new construction and land clearing to septic systems, driveways, basements, ponds, and topsoil. Visit yannickexcavating.com.
Hi, Dr. Tom. Bringing your cat to the Paris Hill Cat Hospital on Sundays is a part of Mohawk Valley Living. Come inside and see why.
Paris Hill Cat Hospital, this is Lindsay. How can I help you? Hello, Mrs. Cole. Your cat is losing weight and you need an appointment? And you're only available on weekends. Sure, I have an available appointment with Dr. Karen Sunday at 2 p.m. Does that fit into your schedule? Okay.
We're open 7 days a week because we know that your cat can become ill anytime. The Paris Hill Cat Hospital, quality care for your cats and kittens.
When you shop Meelan's Market, you'll be the grill master. That's because every hot dog, beef patty, and sausage is made by Bob Meelan himself. Find everything for your next cookout, from store-made meats to fresh salads and tabbouleh, at Meelan's Market at the Four Corners in Clark Mills. That special art, photograph, or memorabilia deserves a special frame. Oscars creates one-of-a-kind gold and silver leaf mirrors and frames. Oscars Picture Framing, 12 Kellogg Road, New Hartford. Tom's Natural Foods is your connection to local farms for natural and organic fruits and vegetables, meats, eggs, cheeses, and other milk products. At Tom's Natural Foods in Clinton, naturally. Wilcor International has a new neighbor in the Schuyler Business Park, New England Wood Pellet, which opened its facility just last month.
Another innovative company here in the Mohawk Valley is New England Pellet Company. Now they've sort of turned the pages of history back because years ago we burned wood to keep ourselves warm. They're doing the same thing now, but they're doing it in the way of pellets. And if you look in my hand here, this has some 40% moisture in it. This has under 3%. This is the product that comes out of here, and it can be used to heat your home very efficiently. I've always thought of pellet stoves as the kind you see in a living room for decorative purposes. You can have a furnace, you can be using these and help the environment at the same time. This may sound very high-tech, but it's good old-fashioned self-reliance, and it's with a closed-loop economy. The product comes from here, it is processed here, and it goes out into this area and is used here.
This is New England Wood Pellet, and this is considered to be the Schuyler facility of New England Wood Pellet. This is our third plant. And the reason why we chose basically upstate New York was because there has been a whole lot of pellet shortages over the past 3-4 years. And also we have a great community that's using wood pellets currently, and we also have a great biomass community that has a lot of wood residue, which we use to create our pellets. The biomass is actually considered to be like a wood residue material, so there's a couple different areas that we get it from. First off logging cutoffs, meaning that if a tree has to be sized, a logger will cut off an end of it, and we'll use that to create our wood pellets. Also, we're taking things from like hardened furniture, furniture factories, and also manufacturing, wood manufacturing joints around the Mohawk Valley region that basically will supply us with material to create pellets also. Currently, right now, if you were to go out and decide to use pellet heating inside your home, whether it's a pellet stove or a pellet appliance and so forth, you have the ability to save anywhere from 50 to 60% off of oil and propane. And that's one of the major reasons why one of the things that's increasing right now. There's a couple of great things that happens locally here, and this is one of the things that I'm most proud about for this company doing. First off, we created something like 20 jobs. And those are good paying jobs. And the other one is that you also create a closed loop economy, meaning that the material that we're getting comes from local loggers. We process it here, give a guy a job. That material goes off to an independent retailer, which is then sold to a consumer. And in that closed loop economy, we keep around somewhere $12 million a year, a possibility inside that displaces heating costs, but also reduces heating costs for local consumers.
It's been several years since we came here to Schuyler. Today we learned many new things, enjoyed this beautiful countryside. Next week we're going to be going, do we know where? No, we're going someplace. So be sure to tune in. Between now and then, enjoy Mohawk Valley living.
Got a head like a beam. He steers a T-bird like you never seen. Picks up the young